Okay, so on this page, the problems that I'm going to help you out with are problem number 1, 9, and 11. And it is asking to find the quadratic equation. So right now, they're giving you solutions. These are your solutions. And in order to find the equation, you need to find the factors first and then go look at the equation. So what I would do is I would write down on another sheet of paper that you're starting off with the solutions, and then you need to find the factors, and then go get the quadratic equation. So that you already have a plan of how you're going to do this. So problem number 1 says that the solutions are x equals 2 and x equals 5. So if those are the solutions, to find the factors, all you need to do is change the signs. Right? Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to move the 2 back over here with the x, and you're trying to move the 5 back over here with the x. So when you move it, it changes the sign, x minus 2. When you move this one, it changes the sign, x minus 5. But that's not what they're asking for. They're asking for the quadratic equation. So how am I going to get the equation from the factors? Box. We're going to do a box, and we're going to multiply them and get the equation. So the box, you're going to put x minus 2 times x minus 5. Start multiplying in there, and then that's where you're going to get the equation from. X times x is x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 5 is a positive 10. Combine the middle ones. What does that give you? Gives you a negative 7. So the quadratic would be x squared minus 7x plus 10. This is the answer for problem number 1. They gave you the solutions, x equals 2, x equals 5. They were asking for the equation. The quadratic equation is x squared minus 7x plus 10. How are you going to check that that is correct? I need everybody to check every single problem from now on. So if your equation is x squared minus 7x plus 10, you put that in the calculator, and you hit trace and see, make sure that your solutions are 2 and 5. X squared minus 7x plus 10, trace, check 2, enter. Yes, that's one of the solutions. Check 5, enter. Yes, that's the other solution. That's how you know that you got it correct. Problem number 9. Problem number 9. They gave you a positive solution and they gave you a negative solution. So your factors, one of them should be positive, the other one should be negative. Number 9, they gave you x equals negative 9 and x equals 11. Oh, negative 4. X equals negative 4 and x equals positive 11. So when you move it over and you change the sign, that's going to become x plus 4. And when you move the 11 over and change the sign, that's going to become x minus 11. So you do the box for this one, and that's going to give you the quadratic equation. So I'm not going to finish that one. You're going to finish it. So at this time, you can press pause and finish it, and then we'll continue to problem number 11. Okay, so hopefully everybody did that already. You end up with x squared minus 7x minus 44. Is that what everybody got? So we check it in the calculator. X squared minus 7x minus 44. Trace. So right now it's only showing us the -4. So I'm going to put -4, enter, so that you can see it. It does give you 0. The 11 is way on the other side over here. But if I type 11, it should still give me 0. Let's see if it does. 11, enter. It does not because it's out of range. So what you have to do then is you have to go to second graph and go find it on the table. So -4 gives me that 0. Now I have to go look for 11 to make sure that it gives you the 0. And there it is. 11 also gives you 0. So if you cannot see it on the graph, make sure you go find it on the table. All right, so this is the answer for number 9. Let's do problem number 11. Problem number 11 are fractions. So it's a little more work. Problem number 11 says that your solutions are x equals 3/4 and x equals 1/4. And I'm leaving some space because I'm going to do more than just move it over, change the sign. You have to get rid of the denominator, the bottom number. So you multiply by 4 on both sides so that the 4 can go away. That's the first thing you do. You multiply by the denominator. Whatever that denominator number is, that's what you're multiplying by. So 4 times x is 4x equals 3. Now, all you have to do is move the 3 over and change the sign. So move it over to the other side, change the sign. You end up with 4x minus 3 equals 0, and that is one of your factors, 4x minus 3. Do you remember how to do that? From a long time ago. So on the other one, I'm still going to multiply by 4 because the denominator is a 4. So multiply both sides by 4 and cancel the 4. And then we're going to say 4 times x is 4x equals a positive 1. And then you move the 1 over and you change the sign. And that becomes minus 1. So you have 4x minus 1 equals 0. And that is your other factor, 4x minus 1. But you're still not done because the question is not what are the factors. The question is what is the equation. So now you have to do the box using those factors, 4x minus 3 times 4x minus 1 to get the quadratic equation. So I'm going to pause it, let you finish it, and then we're going to check it. Okay, so hopefully you had enough time to figure it out before you played it. 4x times 4x is 16x squared. 4 times 4 is 16. 4x times negative 1 is a negative 4x. Negative 3 times 4x is a negative 12x. And negative 3 times a negative 1 is a positive 3. Combine these two. That gives you negative 16x. So you have 16x squared minus 16x plus 3 as your equation, and that is not the answer unless you check it. You have to check it, make sure that 3/4, you got to check that 3/4 is a solution and 1/4 is a solution by putting 3/4 enter and 1/4 enter and trace. So you have 16x squared minus 16x plus 3 trace. Okay, and this one's a weird looking one, but remember we already know the solution, so it's easy for us to check. You just press 3/4, enter. It gives you 0, and it's supposed to give you 0. And then you press 1/4, enter, and it's also supposed to give you 0. If those numbers did not give you 0, you did something wrong, and you need to go back and check your work. So this is your equation for problem number 11. Okay, so what are you doing for homework? In class and for homework, you are doing all of these problems on the left. So this is your classwork / homework if you don't finish. Do not do the right side yet. Don't even cross it out. Just don't do it yet. We'll probably do this tomorrow.